Welcome to another episode of the Headphones On podcast with your host, Josh Nixon. I am here, as per usual, for another half an hour episode in which I'm going to talk about some great music, chat some rubbish in between. Yes, we have another solo episode. We're getting guests soon, do not worry. We're just going to play some good music, talk about what I like, how I found it, where you guys can find all this good music and all that kind of stuff. You're probably wondering, Josh, where'd you get that sick t-shirt? That's right. This Ghostbusters t-shirt was at Tesco, and was getting my lunch, as per usual, at the quick checkout. I don't know what you call it, speed checkout, where the self-service checkout. I look across, I see a Ghostbusters t-shirt, I run straight over there. £7, I think. £9. I've had this shirt for ages. I think it was £9. Extra large, or whatever I got, XL. Nice baggy Ghostbusters t-shirt. Tesco's, thank you. We're not sponsored by Tesco. Alright, let's get into this first track. Today's episode is themed on I like to think like folk alternative music. It's going to be a great time. We're going to play lots of good music. I feel like I said that too many times. I'm going to start off with this first track that I heard this week on a playlist called Into the Woods on Spotify. It is a very good playlist. I've listened to it for a very long time. I can't remember when it came out, but the playlist is updated very frequently, as I can tell, because most of this stuff that I'm going to play, well, two of the songs that I'm going to play today are from the playlist, and they're all released this year. So 3rd of April, one of them was released, celebrating the new album. It comes out May 3rd, and then 7th of June is the album comes out, but this was released on the 12th of February, both 2019. So this playlist is a great place to find new music that is folky, guitar driven, some synth. There's an awesome track that I'm going to play after this first one that is awesome. Might I even say it's an absolute banger? I'm not going to say that though, even though I just did. This first track is by a band called Big Thief. The song's called Cattails. I'm going to play the official audio. I'm going to explain why I like the song after I play it. Let's have a listen.
Meteor shower at the motel, where the empty space is a saving grace, making good time and doing well. Still the question seems like Saturn's rings. Maybe she knows and she won't tell, but you don't need to know why when you cry.
Alright, this track is unbelievable. Okay, maybe unbelievable is the wrong word, but what I said before about how I like the song, it doesn't sound right, but it feels right, if you know what I mean. All the drums and the guitar are offbeat, and the singing's offbeat, and it's in my opinion, the vocals, I think if you bring them forward a bit and a bit louder, and there's this part later in the track where what do they do? The vocals are recorded twice separately, and they're both similar volumes. They're singing the exact same thing, they're just different recordings. So it's like just slight differences in the audio, and they're both the same volume, and they're brought up. They're all compressed the same way, and they just pan slightly left and right, and they do it perfectly. And I feel like if it was like that for the whole song or longer, the song would be perfect. And that only really works on certain kind of songs and certain kind of vocals. But in this song, that would work very, very well. But yeah, it's just something about this song. It doesn't sound right. Everything's offbeat, but the mix is pretty perfect. The drums and the guitar kind of clash like a tiny bit, the acoustic guitar, just because they're all like the kind of same frequencies, like the hi-hat and the guitar's quite high up. It's quite twangy. It doesn't really work, but it does. It feels right. The vocals are a bit offbeat, like I said before, but it works. I don't know, but I've been looking, because whenever I find new bands, I always want to see what they sound like live. So I've been trying to search the internet for them playing the song Cattails live, Big Thief. They have loads of performances of them playing songs live, but this one song I cannot find anywhere. So if you see this and you have a link, please comment below where the link, because I want to see this. I want to see this live performance. But yeah, there's just something about this track is a bit unbelievable. All right, let's play this second track. This is another one on the playlist. It is by a guy called Charlie Cunningham. I like his songs. This song this is probably one of the only ones I've really properly liked. The other ones are good. It's called Permanent Way. The video was released, or I don't know if the audio was probably released on the same day, 12th of February 2019. I think it's the single from, like the leading single from his album, which comes out on the 7th of June, Permanent Way. It is a very good song. You will see what I mean in a minute. Let's give it a play.
One light fades, let another shine in its place. It's just the moving of color.
I tried to get the instrumental and the singing in through that, like in that little play there, because the instrumental is crazy. The bass synth mixed with that guitar, I don't know whether it's the way it was recorded or the way it's been mixed, the lows brought on the guitar, or just I don't know what it is, but that bass synth and the arpeggiator and the guitar work so well together. I could just listen to that forever, just that intro. And then the vocals would add this another layer. The reverb is perfect. The mix is awesome. The background ambient sounds, they're just there. They're not in your face. They just fit in perfectly. The mix is awesome. And the drums, you guys know I'm a massive fan of lo-fi drums. So when they add in a live drum kit that is EQ'd and like processed so that it sounds lo-fi, and then you've got the ride cymbal that comes in. It's a good song, but my only problem with it is the song structure is kind of split into, in a simple way, it's kind of A and B, but there obviously is choruses and verses. There's a second part which I'm not sure whether it's a breakdown or I feel like it might be a breakdown, but it's like the whole of the second. It's just the piano, basically. I don't like the piano. I think it kind of ruins the song. The breakdown's cool with the ambient sounds, but I think it would have worked with just the ambient sounds and no piano. But Charlie Cunningham, you make good songs, you write good music. If you want to put a piano in there, put a piano in there. Remember, it's just my personal opinion. This guy makes good music. That bass synth, I don't know whether when he heard that bass synth and the guitar put together, whether it was just him writing it or whether they were in the studio and they wanted to just add it in, but they ran over a gold mine. This is an awesome song, and I love it an extreme amount. Both those songs on the Spotify Into the Woods playlist. This podcast is not sponsored by Spotify, but if Spotify you want to hit us up, I know we only get like one view, and it's just me rewatching it to see if it's worked. But yeah, it's good. It's a good playlist if you guys like that kind of folk music. But it's got the alternative stuff, this synth kind of bass alternative thing. I think there was no way that we could talk about folk music without talking about this band that I love an extreme amount called Pinegrove. Now, my tutor at college and me are both obsessed with this band. Pinegrove are awesome. Their songs are super well written. They're relatable. The albums, I remember we had a bit of a disagreement with the albums. They've got 2 albums out at the moment called Everything So Far and Skylight. Both, I feel like Everything So Far was maybe might have been recorded by them, but there's videos on YouTube, like a vlog series of them recording the second album, Skylight, at someone's house in a living room, and it's so sick. And they've got drum kits in the hallway to get the reverb. It's like the natural reverb. It's pretty awesome. But we had a disagreement about the second album, how I didn't really like the recording style of the second album. But then that's the same with all music I listen to. I have a greater appreciation for it when I can watch how it's been made. So a lot of documentaries like Pharrell Williams. I wasn't really a massive fan of him before. I understood that he was a genius and he made great pop music, but I didn't have a great appreciation until I saw like the masterclass of Maggie Rogers, or which we talked about a lot in last week's episode, or the making of when he makes beats. There's this awesome video on YouTube of him making a beat, and it is unbelievable. He's a great. There's a reason he's so successful, and if you watch these videos, then you know. But yeah, we had an argument about this, and this is one of my favourite songs that they wrote. It's so short, and I wish it was longer, but sadly it is not. This is a live session on a hill called "This Has Got to Stop" sessions. There's just a couple of members of the band, I think, minus the bassist, and I think it's just the bassist that isn't there, and maybe another guitarist. But this song, Angelina, is one of my favourites. This is Pine Grove, great tune. Let's give it a play. You'll see what I mean by the harmonies in there.
Violin angles from side to side. How'd you get so tangled up in my life? How'd you get so caught? How'd you get so...
You see what I mean about the harmonies of the girl and the guy, Evan, I think his name is. They make some great music, and I think they've recently just started touring again, which is good because I got into them in the last couple of months. I say maybe like 6 months, and I really want to go see them live because they when they play live and their records, they don't play with acoustic guitars. They play with electric guitars, and they sound like a indie rock band. But then when they play these sessions, like the NPR, I think I discovered them on either Audio Tree Live or NPR Tiny Desk, and they play with banjos in the NPR and acoustic guitars. I like that way better than than when they play as a band. As a band is the wrong kind of description, but when they play with like electric guitars and drum kits and everything, but they're still a good band. I still go and see them play live. I think they're playing in England at some point. I think they're on tour, but they're a very good band. And if you like that kind of music, then I definitely recommend you listen to it. This next track is by... Let's have a look what we got. This song I discovered on... I think... It might have been, I don't know, I think I was just listening to, there's these three kind of, what are they called? Staples in, there's the three kind of staples in folk music, like women's folk, like, I don't know why I said women's folk music, but female artists that make folk music. There's, what is it? Phoebe Bridgers, there is Julian Baker, and this last girl, who her second name is Dacus or something like that, or Dacus, and they all make great music. And I heard this song. It's not the actual like released, the original like the like original song of this is released as like a piano ballad, which don't get me wrong is lovely. Like, the piano in that song, I think they did a live session of it, is awesome. But this song this version I like a lot better. It was released as a single, I think, as a single before our album, which I'm not sure if it's come out yet. But the single came out, there was 3 songs on the single, and one of my favourite songs from it is called Killer. It is very good. Let's have a listen.
Can the killer in me tame the fire in you? Is there nothing left to do for us? I am sick of the chase, but I'm hungry for blood, and there's nothing I can do.
It is it's such a good track. I mean, I don't know whether it's the recording or whether it's the songwriting. I know the song is about a murder, I believe. The songwriting is just 10 out of 10. I remember because I heard the song and the guitar sounds a lot like a Bon Iver song, which I'm not going to mention. But so I kind of thought it was a bit. I assumed it was a rip off, listening to the first couple of seconds because it was the same chord. But people are allowed to use the same chord and not listen to other music. But then I listened to the rest of the song and I'm obsessed with the song. And I think it's just her voice. And I'm not normally a fan of just kind of solo singing with a guitar, like acoustic. But there's something about this song, and there's this guitar slide in the middle of it. I'm not sure what it is, what time stamp it is. But there's just there's this guitar slide that is awesome, and I don't know what, it's just unbelievable. And I really want to implement that in my own kind of songs. But I think you have to get a guitar, and then you have to get like the slide. I'm not sure what you call it, the metal ring around your finger, but you can use slide guitar, and I think it's one of the best sounds when it's sliding up with reverb. It sounds the best. Pre-warning of this song, the version on Spotify is the guitar is panned slightly to, and the guitar is panned all the way to the left, and the vocals are panned slightly to the right. Your headphones aren't broken. That's just how the song is recorded, just for this version anyway. I got really worried that my headphones are broken, but they're not. Do not worry, guys. Do not worry. Let's play another track. I know I talked about those three staples of music, like female artists that are making folk music at the moment. Julian Baker is one of the ones I mentioned, and she has a song called Appointments, which is quite old now, 2017. And I say quite old, 2 years ago. And I heard this song and I thought it was unbelievable. The guitar is so cool. And when you see her play it live, it's all like harmonics. It's a very good track. Let's listen. Let's listen to it right now.
Tonight, I won't stop you from leaving. I know that I'm not what you wanted. Am I wanted someone?
There's just something about it. Obviously, there's two guitar parts. There's the da 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 da, and then there's the single guitars. It's just so good, and the vocals are so unique. I don't think I've heard anyone that sounds like a bit like Julian Baker. And then her harmonies are so good. I'm looking at the YouTube video now. I think in about 50 seconds into the YouTube official video, that harmony is pretty 10 out of 10, and it's all mixed super well, and is a great track. And obviously I found this in the YouTube sidebars. After watching so many Bon Iver videos, this kind of stuff starts to come up. I definitely recommend listening to it. There's another track of hers that I really liked. I can't remember where it is. I don't know if is she a Christian? I don't know if she's a Christian kind of based music, but it's good. I really enjoy it. I probably heard it on the NPR Tiny Desk. It was either that or I came across it on my sidebar. This song, something, I'm just going to listen to this, Our Vinyl Sessions. The way she uses a loop pedal is so nice. And also growing up where you don't really have any mates to play guitar with, you can basically recreate a whole band with just a loop pedal. It's 10 out of 10. Yeah, I definitely recommend listening to Julian Baker. She's very good. This Our Vinyl Sessions, the song Something, Julian Baker is pretty good. Pretty nice. She's got a nice amp as well. I'm not sure what that is. I should know what that is because we've got one here somewhere. Yeah, it's over under that cover. I don't know. It's a very good tune. I like Julian Baker a lot. She makes good music. Right, this next track is by a band that I forget their name every 5 seconds and is horrible. And I do not... It's so annoying because I love these bands that have different names from different languages. And they're so artistic and so cool. That sounded sarcastic, but it's true. This band, Novo Amor, I was trying to find songs that were ambient and that were alternative and different. And I want to listen to different music. And I found this band and I found the song and it's unbelievable. This is Novo Amor and Birthplace. Let's have a listen. the ambient sounds are perfect. Like at the start, as the intro comes in, and there's all these sounds that are coming in just before the piano comes in. They are perfect. They fit the song so well. And what is that noise? It sounds like a I'm not sure. I think it's like a. I can't tell whether it's a violin that's being plucked really lightly, or whether it's guitar, whether it's a banjo. There's something, or whether it's a sample of something. I'm really interested to find out what that is. But it's such a cool noise. And then you've got all these violins that are coming in, and they're so nice. And the piano's nice, and the vocals. I really like falsetto singing. We're going to talk about that in a minute, but falsetto voices are 10 out of 10 in my opinion. But that's only if the song works well with them. It's a good song. I definitely recommend them. There's another song called Anchor, I think, which is another awesome tune. It's all good music. They've got an album out, I think, called Birthplace. Don't want to get it wrong, but I think that's what it's called. That's what it's come up on YouTube. But the song Anchor, the guitar in this is again a bit similar to Appointments by Julian Baker. There's nothing wrong with that. I enjoy the music still. But I feel like it's so hard to make music that is so unique these days because there's so much of it. And whether you've heard another song that sounds like it or not, you're gonna write a song that something sounds good. Like I had this problem the other day. I was listening to Tasteless by Shame, and I was playing the guitar along to it. And there's a lead part that I thought was good, but I thought I could come up with a better part. So I was writing the part for it, playing it over. It sounded awesome. Then I took that part that I wrote, took it down a couple octaves or down a couple keys, and I come up with this song that was awesome. But the lead was so good that I came up with. I know it sounds cocky, but it sounded like another song. Like I couldn't believe that. Because I heard it, I felt like I heard it before, or the fact that it was so good that I thought someone must have played it. So I was searching through Catfish and the Bottomans albums, trying to see if I could hear. I've heard this before, and because I felt like it was in the start of like a solo, guitar solo, but I couldn't find it. So that was annoying. It was very, very, very annoying. But this song, Nova and War. Birthplace, and then Anchor as well. The falsetto voice fits the song so well, and they're so well mixed. The music videos are pretty cool as well. They definitely fit the tunes. Right, and the last, what is it? How long have we been recording for? We've been recording for a couple minutes, or longer than a couple minutes. In the last 10 minutes, I'm going to talk about one of my all-time greatest loves. And to set you up for that, I'm going to play this tune. This is called Blood I Bled, and it's by a band called Three Sisters called The Staves, and their vocals